These are the half-inch wheel spacers in black, and they're available for your 1994 to 2018 Ram 1500. Now you should be checking out these options if you're looking for a little bit more clearance from your brakes or suspension, along with a slightly more aggressive stance. Now these options will be CNC'd from 6061 billet aluminum and given the anodized black finish, all for right around $100 for the set of 4. So adding a set of wheel spacers is one of the easiest ways to either gain clearance or make for a slightly more aggressive stance with your wheels on your Ram truck. Now, if the sole reason you're buying spacers in this case is to achieve a more aggressive stance, I will tell you there are certainly bigger, more aggressive options out there that will deliver a more aggressive look. Of course, you can find a ton of different options here on the site if that's something you are interested in. Now, these particular options are going to be pretty tame overall at a ½ inch or just over 12 millimeters of spacing, which will certainly be useful if you wanted to clear a larger set of brakes or maybe add a little bit more suspension clearance, or at the same time you can add a little bit more offset to your stock or aftermarket wheels for a little bit more of that flush appearance. Now, because these are pretty mild, they do not require that bolt-on design, which does ultimately help keep the cost down compared to those larger options we mentioned earlier. Now, moving into construction, and these American-made spacers will be pretty simple because, again, of their smaller size. You're essentially looking at a ½ inch piece of CNC'd billet aluminum here with the anodized black finish. Now, the spacers themselves have been drilled for a 5x45 or 5x114 lug pattern, and that is going to also retain the 82.5 millimeter hub size, allowing these spacers to fit on all 1994 to 2018 Ram 1500s. Now, moving into our pricing segment, and these options from Titan are going to land around $100, give or take a little bit, which actually does make these one of the more affordable sets currently on the site at this particular width or thickness, along with delivering that quality anodized aluminum build and that USA made construction. All right, last but not least, now we want to shift gears and talk about the install, and the site's going to call this a solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about an hour to do all 4 corners on your Ram at home. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down from start to finish, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need an impact, whatever size socket you use to take off your lug nuts, and not shown here in the picture is a floor jack. Today we're going to be installing wheel spacers on our Ram 1500. Let's get into it. First, you need to lift your vehicle off the ground with a floor jack or an equivalent, and we're going to take the wheel off. Now, as far as taking the wheel off, I'm going to be using an impact. Depending on what kind of lug nuts you have on your vehicle, you use whatever is correct to get those off. Now that we have the wheel off, we can put our spacer on. And to do this, you just slip it on, just like that. Then we can continue to put our tire back on the car. And to tighten this down, I'm going to be using an impact. And remember, whatever you used to take these off, socket-wise, you use to put them back on. Now that you've successfully done this corner, make sure to lower your jack and then complete the same process on all the other corners. Alrighty, that about wraps up this review and install of the ½ inch wheel spacers set of 4 for a 1994 to 2018 Ram 1500. Thank you for watching, and remember, for everything Ram 1500, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.